Consolidation in e-pharma continues. PharmEasy and MedLife seek CCI's approval for a potential merger. PharmEasy looks to acquire 100% stake in MedLife. MedLife's promoters to get 19.59% of the equity share capital.
This video is about the batch of 2015 startups that particularly disrupted the highly regulated and fragmented pharmacy industry. We are talking about Netmeds, 1mg and PharmEasy. Yes, while 50 to 60 companies that started in the same time in the same industry have shut their shop, these three companies have successfully grown and also are now considered to be some of the most successful startups that India has ever seen. In this video, we are going to watch how they disrupted the market and also what are some of the takeaways for you from this disruption. So let's get started by going back to 2015. In 2015, the entire Indian consumer mindset was starting to change with the increased usage of Zomato, Swiggy, Flipkart, Myntra and all other e-commerce platforms. However, there was one single market that was still ripe for disruption, and that is pharmacy sales through an app. However, the existing e-commerce companies such as Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart did not enter this market yet. And three reasons for that. The first one is lack of trust. According to World Health Organization, 10.5% of the medicines sold in low and middle income countries, including India, are substandard and falsified. According to United States Trade Representative USTR, in 2019, 20% of all the pharmacy goods sold in Indian market are counterfeit. Consumer trust is the biggest problem in this industry. So you cannot go and onboard any pharmacist in any neighborhood and say that, hey, you can basically get medicines delivered from this particular pharmacy store. The second problem that these guys were facing is that there is a lack of human touch with respect to the existing e-commerce models. You don't talk with the one who is preparing food for you. You just get the food, right? However, in the terms of the pharmacy industry, you need pharmacist conversation, right? Pharmacists don't just sell medicines. They perform many other roles as well. You go to a medical store and ask for a cold medicine. Not every time you know what is the medicine, correct? You tell the condition, they recommend a medicine, they provide the quick consultation and you get it, right? This was not happening in the existing platforms. The third problem that these guys were not used to was the complicated laws and guidelines that they had to follow. Every online pharmacy store had to abide by the Drugs and Cosmetics Acts of 1940, the Drugs and Cosmetics Rules of 1945 and the Pharmacy Act of 1948. If you imagine, these laws were written even before internet got into existence, right? And nobody has any kind of clarity with respect to these rules. These problems literally stopped the big companies to enter into this space. However, the market is niche, so a lot of startups started to get into these things. Let's look at what the successful startups did to capture the market and also continue to exist in this market. The first thing that these guys did was to increase that lack of trust and make sure that there is a significant amount of trust when somebody is ordering medicines on their platform. So let's look at this value chain map. Medicines typically are sourced, manufactured by a player like Reddy's, and then they are distributed, delivered through your pharmacist, and finally you as a patient or me as a patient will go and consume that medicine. The interesting part that's happening over here is distributors take a cut of close to 8 to 12%. The delivery, that's the neighborhood pharmacy store, they are taking a cut of close to 15 to 20% on every sale that they are making. So you look at it, totally there are a 30 to 35% of margin consumption between these two players, the distributors and delivery guys. And also, these two places are where the substandard, counterfeit and falsified medicines enter into the market. To completely avoid these problems, these three companies and also a lot of other companies started to directly source their medicines from manufacturing plants and manufacturing companies like Dr. Reddy's, Novartis. Now, two things that have happened. They saved a lot of costs, 30 to 40% of the overall cost that usually distributors and delivery guys, the pharmacists were taking. and they started passing 20 to 30% of that benefit to you and me, the final consumer. Also, they reduced the entire issue of the falsified and the counterfeit medicines to zero by directly going to the manufacturing side. They reduced the issues of trust and also they increased the discounts. The second thing was with respect to the regulatory and legal challenges. When PharmEasy and Netmeds got started, they also had to face a lot of regulatory and legal challenges. To comply with these regulations, PharmEasy changed their entire ordering process to mandate a prescription whenever an order was being placed. An order delivery would happen only if there is a prescription. Now, by doing these things, they completely got rid of, yes, the regulatory problems. The market size for them was going down. We'll talk about it, how they addressed that. But the regulatory problems were also put to bay for that start. The third thing that they did now to increase that human involvement was they started expanding the ecosystem, and the companies which expanded this ecosystem were the ones which sustained till the end, right? For example, you go to PharmEasy, you will not just see options to order medicine, but you also see an option to consult a doctor. You will also see an option to order a lab test, right? Now you go and talk to a doctor, the doctor will automatically prescribe medicine on the platform, and the platform itself takes care of the delivery in 2 to 3 hours. That is the benefit of the ecosystem. And if you look into it, Tata, Reliance, Flipkart, Amazon, all these companies have went ahead and acquired e-pharmacy startups in the last few years. And the reason for these acquisitions is simple, because they are getting entry into this entire ecosystem. It's not just delivery. They also get patient information, they also get doctors' information, they also get laboratory partnerships, all these things together. That ecosystem is valued a lot more than just that delivery of the medicines. Now, there is one more advantage that these mergers and acquisitions have happened, and the underlying asset that these guys are getting is data. For example, somebody is going and ordering prenatal vitamins on 1 mg, then Tata through its super app can also sell diapers, right? Reliance can send stuff to these babies through Reliance JioMart, right? So the end of the story is that data is a key asset that these guys are purchasing. It's not the platform capabilities, but access to data as well. There are a lot of regulations with respect to what data can be shared, what data cannot be shared as well. But you can still share probably how many times you opened PharmEasy app, how many times you went ahead and ordered something in the cart, right? That information itself is also gold. Hence all these acquisitions. As a business student, what are the 3 lessons for you? That's the most important part for you, right? Number 1, if you are a middleman, be a distributor, be a pharmacist, or in any other industry, if you are a middleman without the leverage of scale, there is always a chance that you will be taken out of the system. Please make sure that if you are getting into these industries where you are operating out of commissions, build that scale. The second thing is that still, even today, data is the new oil. All these acquisitions, Amazon has spent close to $1 billion to acquire PillPack, and the primary reason for that is data. The third interesting and the most important takeaway for you is that this ecosystem play is more important than any single individual capability. And when you are thinking about an entire ecosystem and how to get a startup into your own ecosystems that you are working towards, that's where you are building a lot of value for the customer and also for yourself. I hope you learned a lot of things through this video. Please do press on the like button and also let me know if you have any feedback. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.